you can use this powerful aspect to create massive change for yourself. So you could use this energy to get back to the gym, to start working out, to start lifting weights. But because of the inconjunct energy in this week, being really mindful of your movements, because you could tweak a back. Welcome to the Story of Spirit podcast, where practical spirituality meets real life. Hi, I'm your host, She Tells Story. I'm a psychic medium, grief support counselor, professional astrologer, and a human design reader, and of course, a law of attraction master coach. With my unique blend of spiritual and practical tools, I am here to help you align with your soul-led purpose and ignite a life that sets your soul on fire. In this podcast, we are going to explore the principles of energy, astrology, spirituality, and psychology to help you heal your grief and create an aligned life and business from the inside out. Whether you are looking to deepen your intuition, understand your cosmic design, or transform your business, this podcast is for you. Join me each week for insightful discussions, practical tips, and inspiring stories that will guide you on your journey to living your very best life. Don't forget to subscribe and follow us on Instagram at She Tells Story or wherever you listen to this podcast. Let's dive in and start this transformative journey together. Welcome to the Story of Spirit podcast. Welcome to the Astro Forecast for the week of December 30th to January 5th. Happy New Year, right? Happy New Year for 2025. If you are not feeling like it's a Happy New Year, guess what? You're right on schedule, right? Mars is retrograde during this time, and Mars is the planet of motivation, our desire, our egoic will to move forward. And when it is going slower than the Earth, we are not feeling like it is time to move forward. If anything, we are questioning, where do we want to go? Why do we want to move forward? What is our motivation now? What is our why right now? So as this is good energy for going into 2025, because it's a time of reassessment for your forward momentum. What are you actually working towards? What's your legacy, Leo? And how do you want to leave your mark on this world? Are you doing that, right? Life is not forever. So this is a time now to really be introspective of like what you want to move forward with and where are you going with life. This is why I set up the vision board workshop, because if you don't have a vision to move forward or what you're trying to create, you get lost in the noise of the world, y'all. So I have an online vision board workshop starting on January 18th, and it goes from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. It's online. You get a supply list. You get homework when you register. You have to have your handouts done before you come to session. We're going to have sharing. We're going to have dyads and triads. We're going to have all sorts of ways to get deeper into your being and your why before you even touch a pair of scissors, y'all. So if that's something that's interesting to you, please join us. The link is going to be in the bio or in the show notes, depending on wherever you're listening to this or watching this. So join us, because why not? Why not? It's time for you to take back your life and manifest and vision from the seat of your soul, so that will inform your year ahead, not just being pulled into everybody else's business, y'all. So we start out the week on Monday, December 30th, in a fourth quarter moon phase in Virgo. Virgo's energy can be very perfectionist as a moon and wanting to get the details right, and can be very critical of the people around us. So this week, you're going to really want to guard against that. Okay. Notice where you're trying to be perfect with yourself or with everyone else, or holding everybody to some higher standard, because guess what? No one's going to be feeling like they want to do anything really perfectionistic this week. Let's be honest, right? So on Monday, the 30th of December, we have a brilliant new moon in Capricorn. Now, guess what? We started the year on January, I think it was like 11th, out with a new moon in Capricorn at that point in time. This is now the new moon in Capricorn at 9 degrees, and it's going to be happening at 5:27 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So this new moon is in Capricorn is about setting an intention, setting down roots, planting seeds into something that feels like you are standing in your authority. You want to own part of your life. Capricorn is the sign of mastery. It is the sign of the mentor, authority, the patriarchy, but it's structures that are going to it's initiatory, creating structures, earth, and it is very sure-footed, and it is reliable, like one of the most reliable signs in the zodiac. So this is literally the sign of like the mentor, the authority, the master. And this is a very spicy new moon, right? Yeah, you're like, yay, more spicy before we end off the year. Yeah, this is a little more spicy. Here's why: because it is T squaring the nodes of the moon. So that means the nodes of the moon are opposite each other, and they're the karmic destiny and the karmic past of the collective. So currently, where it's going to be sitting at the time of this new moon is at 1 degree of Aries and 1 degree of Libra. Libra and Aries are opposite in the zodiac. This is asking the collective to step into their authority. What are you initiating? What are you wanting to be bold and courageous about? Where are you calling in being more self sufficient, being more in your energy unapologetically? That's Aries. Right. The opposite of that, Libra in the South Node, is what are we releasing in terms of being in relationships? So people pleasing tendencies, ways that we minimize ourselves so we don't want to hurt anyone else or shine too bright, or ways that we have been in relationships with people that are not really supportive of our mission, of our purpose, of the truest nature of ourselves. So this is really significant in that this T square is creating this dynamic where it is highlighting this balance between ambition and nurturing. There's this kind of, again, shining your light, not being, being in relationships that support that, being the master of your destiny. And the empty leg, or the part of this that makes it a square, which creates more harmony, is in Cancer. So this is about owning our inner foundations, owning the stories that you have been telling yourself about why you can't be an authority, why you're not good enough to be a leader. What does being a leader mean? If being a leader means that you are going to be responsible for everybody, or you have to know everything, well, guess what? Then you're not going to want to be a leader. But that's not what a leader is. A leader just creates the path so that everyone can shine their light. A leader illuminates all those around them and puts aces in their places, right? So where are you needing to be a leader in your community, in your family, in your friend group? Because everyone has leadership abilities and authorities. It's just about trying to discover who you are, what spheres those are in, and where are you meant to shine your light. So this full moon in Capricorn, or sorry, the new moon in Capricorn, whatever seeds you plant now will come to fruition, or a light of new understanding, on July 10th, 2025, on the next full moon in Capricorn. It's also really interesting to note that we end off the year 2025 in a new moon in Capricorn, and we started off the year in a new moon in Capricorn. So that happens because it's interesting, because I almost sort of feel like it bookends, like we're getting us ready to start something else, right? That is a full cycle. A new moon to a new moon is a full cycle. So a new moon to full moon, we set the intentions, we come to kind of harvest all that we have sown, and then we come back into the new moon now ready for a new cycle. So we're getting rid of anything that no longer serves us, which is kind of the month of December, or the last quarter of the year, let's say, with this cycle. So we are now planting the seeds for something new to begin that will come to fruition about 6 months from now. So pay attention to when that is. Put that, your intention that you are setting now, put it on your calendar for July 10th and see where that leads you. Okay. Now we're starting out January. Our first major aspect is on January 2nd, and we have two on January 2nd. So the first one is the sun in conjunct to Jupiter. This is a energy where you don't want to do anything. Really, like it's in the sun is in Capricorn, meaning you've got responsibilities, you got things you're supposed to be doing, people are depending on you, and Jupiter in conjunct is like, I don't want to do it. I just want to have fun. I just want to see the bright side of things. I want to do all the things and talk to the people and maybe scroll on social media because it's in Gemini retrograde. So this is a pole of tension between staying practical and chasing down big ideas, or responsibilities and just wanting to have fun. And it's not a day, if you're if Thursday, January 2nd is your first day back to work, you might feel like it's not really a day that you're going to be so focused. If you have it off, awesome. Just plan to watch movies and sit in front of the tree. I know many people like to take down the tree. The second, you'll probably not feel like you have a whole lot of motivation to take down the tree if you decorate and do those things. Thursday, January 2nd, we also have Venus moving into Pisces. Venus is about what we love and value, beauty, aesthetics, and money. So Venus now moving from Aquarius, which is a cerebral sign. It's one kind of, we're here for everybody, humanitarian, evolving. It's actually technology as well. It is elevating concepts to its next level. Whereas in Pisces, it's a water sign. It's the most mutable water sign. So it is feeling like it just wants to chill, wants to enjoy life, wants to listen to music, maybe do some painting, brunch would be lovely. Pisces is a bit of an escapist sign. So we want to just make sure that we're not feeling like we want to just go hard on the food, the drink, alcohol, chocolate, all those things, which you might, because of this Gemini energy in for Jupiter, it's not going to feel like a time where you're going to get a whole lot of work done. So you might not feel motivated this week. I mean, I think that's evident with Mars retrograde. And Thursday is not a day to pack your schedule full of stuff because you're just not going to feel it. Friday, we have a very major aspect happening. One of the big kind of biggest aspects of the beginning of the year, next to the nodes of the moon changing signs, which will be later in January. And Mars retrograde in Leo. So that's our motivation, desire, passion, 0 degrees of Leo. 0 degrees is a critical degree in astrology, meaning it's just the very beginning of the sign. So it's trying to sort itself out. It doesn't know how to be Leo. It's more Cancer than anything. So it's trying to figure out what's its voice. What am I, who am I trying to be? What's my purpose? What's my why? And then it's opposite exactly Pluto at 0 degrees of Aquarius. So another 0 degree critical sign. Pluto is at the 0 degree of Aquarius for a while. It's been there for a couple months. And this 0 degree mark of Aquarius is very much like revolutionary, right? It's, are we there for the people? It's the people versus the person, right? Leo is my gifts and talents, and Aquarius is how you add that to the collective to better everyone's life, right? How are you being of service so that we all are benefiting from your brilliance? So Leo is inherently self full because it needs to focus on itself, what feels good for it, how does it want to shine its light into the world and kind of use its life in a way that is beneficial for all, right? So Leo turned up too much is egocentric, turned down too low is feeling like there's imposter syndrome. That's the word I'm looking for. And then Aquarius turned up too loud is righteousness and telling everybody who they should be and what they should be doing. And then Aquarius turned down too low is hiding in a corner and saying the world is going to shit and best to just the word is dig a bunker and hide in there, right? And that is not the answer. Neither of those extremes are the answer. Can we shine our light, add that to the collective, and then help everyone to rise together, right? That's really the beauty of these two as an axis. When we have this opposition between these two planets, Mars rules war. But war is not just war for the sake of warring. It's actually for protecting, right? In the divine masculine, which Mars represents as well, it is about that kind of protector energy. We're protecting the things that are ours. And Pluto is death, rebirth, and transformation. So this is energy that is remaking the collective, really. It is shining a light on where we are not being egalitarian, equal in our rights. And this has seeds going back to November 3rd, 2024, because Mars was opposite Pluto at the 29th degree of Cancer and Capricorn, which is the feminine and the masculine. So this energy now is about my voice and the collective. Are we being kind of caring for each other? So I think during this January 3rd, like we're only 3 days in and you're like, oh my God, we are already dealing with the things. Yeah, this is the flavor of this year, right? We are asking everyone to pull up for everyone else. So I think this is actually the energy of war. Not to say that war is going to happen in the world, but it's very warring and it's power struggles, self assertion, and emotional breakthroughs. Now, the potential for emotional breakthroughs are here. If you are stuck in your story, there's no emotional breakthrough. Someone is the villain, and there's no villain in your story, right? You are the villain. You are the one that is also, the world is reflecting you. right? So when you see villainy in the world, you're seeing a parts of you, because we are all each other. I know that's very, very woo woo, but it is actually the truth. The world, you can only see things in the world that you can see in yourself, right? So if you're not exposed to something, or you don't know that it exists, you wouldn't see it. If you knew it, you wouldn't know it when you saw it. So when we see villainy, tyranny, things like that in the world, you know, what I see is psychological issues. That's what I see. So do I have those things with me? I mean, I have the ability to see them, but I don't think anyone is like inherently like evil or bad. I think we're all motivated in ways that we might not just be able to see out into the world. So this is about controlling the people and power to the people, right? So there's these two sides. So it's going to be really interesting to notice, you know, especially in the US with Trump taking office, and then what's been happening in the Middle East and all these broker deals and things happening, and then also what's happening in Europe with the destabilization with the Ukraine Russia um, a conflict, and then everybody getting involved in that and different assassinations and things like that. I think we're going to see some real instability in the world on this day or on this week. So if you are investing, this would be a time to really go risk averse and shoring up your your income versus moving into growth. But of course, I'm not a certified financial planner, so please of course consult your financial planner. On Friday, January 3rd, we have Mercury in conjunct to Uranus in Taurus. So this is a clash of sorts. This is unpredictability. If you have any plans at all on Friday, just, like take it with a grain of salt, because your agenda is going to go by the wayside. This is very unpredictable. There's a potential for disruptions. There is, be prepared for surprising shifts and new plans to arise. So if you have an agenda on Friday, just really put it to the side, because things are going to happen and you're just not going to get anything done. But this is also the potential for like amazing genius ideas to step in, creative, inspiration to come forward too. So leaving space for creativity. This is a great day to create, bake, cook. Not a great day to renegotiate your portfolio or sign any major contracts. This Uranus in conjunct to, Mercury in conjunct to Uranus. Holy moly, that's hard to say. This Mercury in conjunct to Uranus is going to destabilize conversations and communication. So if you are doing anything communication wise, like on Zoom or a big conference call, just be ready for tech issues. Yeah. And then on Friday, January 3rd, Venus in Pisces is in conjunct to Mars retrograde in Leo. So this is destabilizing relationships. This is where you can have sort of a misunderstanding in relationships. Someone wants to have more love and nurturing and intimacy. Venus in Pisces is intimacy, and Mars in Leo is fiery, hot, rah, let's go, passion, right? So it's these two might not work together. Mars in Leo retrograde can feel kind of very aggressive, and Venus in Leo is very intimate and nurturing and sensual. So these two can come together as passive aggressive. So noticing where you might see passive aggressive tendencies in others, or you notice there might be some manipulation or miscommunication in relationships is possible. This is a day on Friday where we're going to struggle to align our desires with our actions. So Venus is our values and Mars is our desire. So when we have values and desires that are not in alignment, this makes me feel like an unexpected bill. This makes me feel like I want to have more money than I have in my bank account in this moment in time. This makes me feel like I'm eating a whole chocolate cake because I don't want to face the reality of things. So there can be, especially with this Piscean energy, this want to deflect or move into ways that we are looking at low-level coping. Low-level coping is drugs, alcohol, pornography, shopping, eating and drinking, things that aren't really our highest light. High level coping would be working out, therapy, going for a walk in nature, journaling out your feelings, doing something that makes you really see what is happening for what it is, and doing something that helps your energy, not puts you back because you've taken things that deplete you or is going to deplete you in the long run. So paying attention to that on Friday. On Saturday, January 4th, we have the Sun in Capricorn sextiling to Saturn in Pisces. This is one of the best aspects for the week. We end off on a high note. So the Sun sextile is a 60-degree aspect, and it's very helpful. So this is encouraging disciplined action rooted in intuition. It's an excellent day for laying solid foundations, realistic goals, honoring both material and emotional needs. So this is practical wisdom, really, right? And you can use this energy to now start to structure some things in your life that are getting you back on track. So this is a good energy that gets us ready for coming back to work on Monday. If you have this week off, great. If you're not, you're in for a little bit of turbulence. This is a good week to have off so you can be at home to kind of mitigate some energetic clashes that might come up. If you're spending the week with family, deep breaths, grounding, and making sure you are staying in your own energy and being the witness to other people maybe popping off, because especially that Mars opposite Pluto is very, very fiery. Those 0-degree marks makes it extra spicy. So we're going to just really be feeling that spiciness this whole week. So just noticing where your temper's flaring, where you start to get triggered, where you're noticing control and power struggles in your life. Those are all aspects. Mars opposite Pluto on Friday is really going to be the change maker for the entire week. So just noticing that. On a positive note, you can use this powerful aspect to create massive change for yourself. So you could use this energy to get back to the gym, to start working out, to start lifting weights. But because of the inconjunct energy in this week, being really mindful of your movements, because you could tweak a back or pull a muscle if you're being too aggressive, too excited, you're not staying focused in your movements. So really channeling this energy into cleaning. You could do that too, although I don't think there's a lot of determination in this week's energy. So thank you for being here. This astro weather is to help you navigate the weather, y'all. So it's about what you make of it, right? There's some heavier energies this week. Okay. So now you get to mitigate that. You get to be at home, or you get to be aware. You get to ground. You get to start journaling about how you're feeling about things, and you're not being reactive. Because if you're being reactive, this week is going to sweep you up into a tornado. And I do not wish that for you. Right. But hey, if that's what you ask, you learn. So I wish that you have ease this week and that you get to arrive into 2025 with intention and consciousness, choosing the reality you want to create. So yes to more of that for 2025. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you so much. And I'm just wishing from my heart to yours the best year ahead ever. Thank you for joining me on this episode of the Story of Spirit podcast. I hope you have found inspiration, support, and practical insights to help you align with your soul-led purpose and live a life that sets your soul on fire. If you have enjoyed today's episode, please subscribe to the podcast, leave a review, and share it with a friend. Your support helps us to reach more listeners and continues to provide valuable content. I sincerely appreciate every share, and I know it is how most people find me. It is because caring people like you have shared me with them at the right and perfect time. For more resources, insights, and to connect with our community, please visit us at www.shetellstory.com and follow us on Instagram at shetellstory. Remember, your journey to a more aligned and vibrant life is just the beginning, and I am here to support you every step of the way. Until next time, stay aligned, stay inspired, and keep shining your beautiful light. This is Shetell Story, signing off from the Story of Spirit podcast. Here's the legalese that's required by our lawyers. This podcast and the YouTube channel represents the opinions of Shetell Story and her guests to the show. The content should not be taken as medical, psychological, or financial advice. This series is informational and entertainment purposes only. Because each person is so unique, please consult your healthcare professional, your mental health dream team, your financial advisor, or anyone else that's an expert in the field in where you are thinking of making big choices in your life.